Elmer, at your panel discussion, trying to make it clear to the underclassmen to whom you gave that camera that it was okay for him to come up close to the stage and get a close-up of the 8 or 9 individuals.
Yeah, I had to be a TV director in the middle of that.
I mean, you were choreographer, director, producer, I mean, the whole 9 yards. And in fact, you said it more than once because apparently it was clear that he didn't understand or he was backwards, and you kept repeating, no, it's okay to come up, come on up. So you wanted, I mean, your zeal in trying to capture that moment of the panel discussion.
He is a morning talker.
Was wonderful because it was worth capturing for sure.
Which one of the panelists jumps out at you as being the one that you remember that you got the most from?
It's all hard.
I can't say it jumped out as being remembered, but the one that I thought had the most courage was Lou, the sportscaster.
Al Marciano.
Sal Marciano.
Sal Marciano. I really.
And the reason I thought he had the most courage was because what he essentially said was, although sports is a wonderful thing when you're playing it in your driveway with your grandchild, shooting hoops or what have you, basically as you get to the big business aspects of sports, the fan is basically being screwed, according to him, because of the money aspects, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And he is trying at this point to distance himself from his
profession
career.
that he loved.
And he truly loved what he did, and he loved the people, Cronkite, et cetera, et cetera. But, and at first that shocked me when I heard him say that, but the more I thought about it, I really take my hat off to him for basically having the courage to criticize where he really thought it needed criticism.
Yeah.
I just enjoyed what they all had to say from every aspect. It was wonderful. And the audience. And Tom Girardi's conclusion will last forever in my memory.
Which was, what did he say? What was his conclusion?
Well, Tom Girardi basically got up after a fairly intense discussion which ranged far beyond Fordham and, in a sense, even Catholicism and the role of Catholicism after that, and basically got up and said, since you weren't there,
Why are we here?
he said, and he didn't even introduce himself as Elmer insisted people do, okay? And he got up and he said, why did we come here? It reminded me of Friends, Romans, Countrymen.
Yes.
Yeah.
Why did we come here?
Eric, you're going to run out of digits.
He said, we came here for a foundation. He said, a foundation. He said, and to use an allegory, he said, you need a foundation of concrete. You can't build a foundation on sand. He said, and here at Fordham, we got a foundation. And Elmer at this point wanted to get the hell out. So he said, great, that's a great ending. Let's get out of here. And that was the end. So that's what Tom did. But you should ask
Elmer,
him.
I'll tell you one thing that impressed me as a preschool teacher who's retired was when Pete Kurtz came up with rolls of green masking tape in order for the Fordham 1963 sign, and so that it could be visible. I thought they can't just drape it over; they need some masking tape.
I was the big. I can tear it.
You have one of them? Yeah, that's a great thing. The Alumni Association was overwhelmed when I said, you want a banner? I got a banner. I had the banner.
And this morning, man, you know the Honors Club pin, what's it, Phi? Phi. Yeah, Alpha was the honors is on Phi. Anyway, I couldn't find it this morning.
Oh, you mean the Fordham Club pin?
The Fordham Club, yeah, what did I say? And I had it on my suit jacket Friday night. And I said, geez, and it wasn't there anymore, so I couldn't actually remember taking it off, but it was on the floor in the dorm room.
Yeah,
I found it.
but that
So that's
was
a sign.
You know, then he took
A sign.
Something.
We'll figure out later of what.
then it would have been.
And then put it on. I'm tired of being on camera. camera, Elmer.
Well, where you're always on camera. That's
The saint that you pray to with the loose things.
St. Anthony.
It's Saint
Yes.
Anthony, because my grandmother
And then
used to
St.
pray.
Jude is the
That's what it's called. That's what my mother always prayed to for me. But anyway,
Elmer, you might notice that Peter isn't wearing his Jubilee things
Why?
morning
I'm very
because
special.
that wasn't what I was going to say.
No, all I can think of, because I spent 15 minutes this morning getting really, really mad because I couldn't find this year's tag, and all I can think of is it blew off when I was riding in the car last night. That's the only thing I can think of.
But
It disappeared.
because he's always prepared, he had the one from 5 years ago. Yeah, but that's Peter.
That's his tag from 5 years ago.
Yes,
5 years ago.
but he's so organized.
And you notice then that, and I really let him have it this year when I was registering, and I put my name down. And I'm currently on the rolls of the alumni as A. Peter Kurtz. And so I said, when you're making my name tag, in big red letters, when you're making my name tag, it wants to be Peter, not Arthur. So they got it right. So you can see 5 years ago they didn't get it right. That was Arthur P. So I don't know how I did it, but I managed to. With the help of one of those young ladies at the desk.
Artie, hold the camera. You know, the trouble with being a photographer, you never get into any of the pictures. And
should I be pushing a button?
No, it's does it say record there in the little red up in the pictures? R-E-D.
Oh, yes, it's on. Yes, go.
Okay.
Go.
The reward and the reason I did it on this whole thing was because I wanted to see you guys, every one of you again. And this was the only way I could guarantee I would see you again. So I had a selfish motive.
Very selfish motive.
It was. It was. Seriously.
3 cheers for selfishness.
Good, sometimes selfish is good.
The worst part was, I told you guys this, I thought Jerry McLaughlin, our student government president, would lead the charge on this. I searched him out 2 years ago to find the sad news that he's, and it's open knowledge, he's in assisted living with Parkinson's disease. Then I went to our senior class president, Bill Cusack, figuring he would lead the charge. He's a senior. He's got Parkinson's disease. Then I started looking for other elected leaders. Whiff Marin, who was vice president, I think, of student government. He's got a similar problem. So it kept falling back to.
It was meant to be, Elmer.
Who's going to do this?
It was meant to be.
Lucky we didn't get in the student government.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, that's a good
Lucky we
point.
didn't get into student government. We would end up
They would have gotten the
Well, a great committee of a dozen or 14 came along and helped out. Really, 12 or 14 people took names and followed up. So
We can't wait to read the book cover to cover.
that book came out so better than I could have expected.
Tell us the story. They told us that the book was delivered the very morning of Friday. Is that the case?
Yeah. Well, we got started late on it because the guy who was going to do it turned out didn't do anything, and I had to take that on also at the last minute.
John, look, you're taking. You get
And so, the book might have been better if I'd had more time, but so it was a rush job all the way. And it turned out, given that, it turned out well, I think.
Oh, it turned out wonderful.
Wasn't the crew still behind us here?
Yeah.
Why don't we right now before?
We're just going to take a few candidates and then we can
Do we need to get a group picture and get somebody outside to take it?
Yes, outside the group. We have a good